Welcome into the DNVR Rockies podcast, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, when you use promo code DNVR, new customers, you can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet. You're going to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. That's with code DNVR only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. I am Patrick Lyons.
And live from Philadelphia, I am Suzie Hunter. Patrick, what a day to be a girl from Philly.
It's not only Halloween, the holy holiday of whatever, of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but it is also Game 3 of the 2022 World Series. We've got a lot to get caught up on. We got to hear about your pregame routine. Is it going to be different than a regular season, Suzie, in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Will be. Okay, that's a little teaser. That's what we call in the industry a teaser from Suzie on that. Before we get into the actual games itself, you feeling good having split in Houston 1-1? That's good, right?
I'm feeling good about that for sure. I love that we won game 1. That was, I say we, like I'm on the team. Phillies won game 1, and I love that. That was such an exciting game. They can't win them all. It's a miracle that, the Astros managed to finally lose one game this postseason. I love that. So I have high hopes right now, just because the energy at Citizens Bank Park is so incredible on just a regular game day. World Series, first game at home. Oh, it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Game 1, I felt, was the game that they had to win, just because I like Wheeler better than Nola in game 2. However, attacking Justin Verlander, and boy, did they ever. I do want to ask you though, real quick, Suzie, before I forget. Was there a vibe when you landed in Philadelphia Airport? Was there like a little vibe, or not necessarily? People, it was an off day. It was kind of an Eagles day, also a Philadelphia Union day, folks.
Yes,
you could have 2 championships in Philadelphia in the same week. Whoa! But was there any vibe going on in the Philly airport at all?
You know what? There were definitely a lot of people wearing Phillies jerseys, Phillies hats, but also Eagles jerseys, Eagles hats. Like everyone was traveling for some kind of game. So it was a little busy at the airport for a Sunday, but that's a good sign.
That is a good thing. Game 1 in Houston, it was almost a tale of 2 thirds. The game was a third. Houston was the way better team. Then Philly was the better team for a third, and then the final third, or rather the extra inning, was the difference. Houston up early. Kyle Tucker, 2 home runs, 4 RBI. First was a solo shot in the second to give them a lead. They ended up scoring another run in that inning, and then he homers in his next at bat in the third. And at that moment, you go, all right, well, it's the Astros. What are you going to do? Somebody's got to have that big game. It's going to be Kyle Tucker. All right, maybe this game won't be that competitive, but 2 home runs in the first 3 innings, that was pretty impressive.
That was really impressive. Yeah, Kyle Tucker on your home run derby squad definitely did you good. So it was a little stressful at that point for sure. I was actually watching the game at the DNVR bar, and of course, like there were 2 other Colorado-based games going on that night. So it was really just like me and a couple of people watching this game.
You were watching the box score on your phone, but
it was on. It was on. We've got more than enough TVs. I'll have to, after we finish this recap, I'll have to tell you what I did after the game ended.
Celebrate, because even though it was a 5-0 lead here with those 2 home runs by Kyle Tucker, the first time we've had a multi-homer game in the World Series since 2020. Brandon Lowe, no, I don't remember it.
I don't remember that.
That World Series was a blur. Blake Snell got taken out, and the Dodgers won. That's all I can remember from that World Series. But I will remember Justin Verlander again, not having it. You got like kind of shocked, like, oh, this is maybe what we expected, the final pitching line for him, giving up 5 runs. But the fact that it like happened the way it did, shocking, right?
It was, you know what? I was not shocked. And I didn't even realize this until you brought this up on our show. I did not realize how low his World Series, or how high rather, his World Series ERA is. So I was just sitting there waiting. I was waiting for it to happen. And then it happened. So I was like, there you go. We got the World Series Justin Verlander that we should expect. I feel bad because he's such a good pitcher. But
yeah,
He's not that guy in the World Series, apparently. That's what the numbers say.
It's strange, and some of it really could be luck because it is a smaller sample size, and you go through the rest of his postseason, his ERA is just a hair above 3, and now in the World Series with this performance, he goes above 6, so it's double of what it is in any other round. 5.86 ERA was what he entered in the World Series. Cruising first time through the order, and then in the 4th inning and 5th inning is where it gets bad. Coughs up the lead. Now, this is the second biggest, and this will be slightly more memorable because it's in the World Series. Like the comeback against St. Louis, they had a 3.4% chance of winning that game because there was, I think, 1 out and they were down 2 runs in the 9th. They came back to win that. And to show that it wasn't a fluke, they did in games 4 and 5 against the Padres with only about a 20% chance to win in each of those games. And then Friday night, it was early, right? Because it's the 4th inning, but you're down 5-0. It is the World Series. It is a Hall of Fame starting pitcher. 6% chance to win. Boy, oh boy, Suzie, how much money did you clean up on DraftKings Sportsbook? Because I imagine the odds were very favorable, and you're very loyal. How much money?
Cleaning up out there. Yeah, no, that was absolutely incredible. Any money I could have possibly made, I spent at the bar. After game 1, when the Phillies won in 10 innings, I bought everyone left at the bar a shot. I bought a round of shots for the whole bar.
That now, is there a big Philly drink? I know Malort is big in Chicago. I don't know. Is there a big Philly shot company? An Irish whiskey, perhaps?
No, there really isn't. I just kind of told the bartenders, like, hey, like, whatever's going to be, like, easy to make and easy to drink and easy to shoot for people, just make a bunch of those. So they made kamikazes. And I was like, oh, okay.
There you go.
There we
I
go.
like that. Irish car bombs feels very let's go Phillies celebration drink, although that's a lot larger than an actual shot. Very kind
I
of
wanted
you.
to had to keep it small.
Yes, absolutely. No, that was very, very kind of you to celebrate there.
It's a little too generous of me.
Castellanos RBI single. Alex Baum had a 2 RBI double there. In that 4th inning. Did I say Bohm or Baum?
You said Baum.
Baum.
You've never said his name right first try.
And I've backed it up on Baseball Reference, which isn't always correct, but it does phonetically get spelled BOWM. So I'm trying. I'm actively trying. I know
you are. I know you are for sure.
The Blake Street Bombers. Got it. Okay. Bohm. That's all I'm gonna remember. Alec Bohm. So teams with a 5 or more run lead in the World Series, 220 and 5. Wow. Now it's 220 and 6. Because as we know, the Phillies did come back to win 6-5. The last time a 5, I don't know if you saw this one, Suzie. The last time a team had coughed up a 5-run lead in the World Series and lost was in 2002, Angels over the Giants. And yeah, Dusty Baker was the manager then too.
Dusty Baker. I can't believe it happened to him twice. Or he made it happen twice. However you want to look at it.
Johnny B. Baker? More like Johnny B. blowing some big leads here. Come on.
Oh, Patrick.
Come on, man. Johnny be blowing leads. Another interesting wrinkle. Astros were 101 and 2, so almost a similar, winning percentage with a 5-run lead. And Justin Verlander himself was 99 and 0 when given a 5-0 lead.
So this has never happened to him before.
Well, I guess technically speaking, because he didn't end up getting hung the loss. So he's not 99 and 1.
Oh, that's true.
So it's kind of like a no decision. But even still, you would have, if you had seen that stat, you go, well, tonight's clearly going to be 100 and 0, right? So like, again, that just paints the picture of how unlikely this was. But again, you go back and you remember, well, what was the team? It was the Phillies, the sassy boys from Broad Street. Stayed sassy, and that was that, as we discussed, that was one of the secrets to the sauce. How do they end up winning the game? They also are going to help themselves in winning this World Series by playing some decent defense, and they got a little bit more than that with a game-saving grab by Nick Castellanos. Was that one of the bigger moments for you in this game where you kind of got out of your seat a little bit?
Oh my God. You should have seen me like really standing on my seat while this was all happening. I was like doing laps around the bar. This is like I had so much nervous energy going through me, but seeing him slide and make that just seemingly impossible catch I was very impressed with Nicholas.
He did well, and that wouldn't have happened if Altuve didn't steal second base. And you go, how are those things connected? Well, now a single can score him from second base. He moved up 20 whole feet to put him in that spot there. Super important. Then we go to extra innings, and then JT Realmuto, the best catcher in all of baseball, hands down. There's nobody even close
No
to
competition
him.
there.
Exactly. He already had a 2-run double earlier in the game. Hits an extra inning solo home run. First extra inning homer by a catcher in the World Series since that Carlton Fisk home run in 1976, where he's waving his arms. No, that was not just a fictitious plot point in Good Will Hunting. It really happened in a game.
I've never seen Good Will Hunting.
Oh, that's kind of a classic.
Yeah, I know.
It's very good. It's good. I think you would like
the momentum of your whole bit here, but I haven't seen it.
Plenty people have. They know that. Robin Williams, one of his finest. He may have even won like a Golden Globe for that. But Matt Damon's very good in it. Young Ben Affleck. It was, when they were probably a lot more likable, and they wrote the script and everything. Is fantastic.
I mean, I know the origin story. I know that they're besties too. So yeah, I know that much. I just haven't seen the movie.
The double from Realmuto against Verlander traveled 384 feet, would have actually been a homer in 2 different ballparks. His homer, only 346. So it went nearly 40 feet less in distance, actually would have donged in 5 different ballparks. And yes, I'm turning it into a verb. It would have donged in 5 ballparks. So again, that's baseball. You don't hit the ball as well. You don't hit the ball as well as you did in another at-bat, and yet you're rewarded with a home run. And Phillies are rewarded with a 6-5 victory. They made a go of it. The Astros did in the 10th, where they got 2 guys on board. Alex Bregman with the double, Gurriel with a walk, and then again another one of those big moments. It didn't really necessarily have a chance to get discussed because the game was over pretty soon after that. But Aledmys Diaz gets hit by a pitch. I think we have a photograph from him leaning in. You hear if we can get one of these images.
Oh my God.
Leaning in. Well, no, this is Michael Jackson leaning in with Smooth Criminal, bending forward. No, this was actually the real photograph. This next one is,
oh my God, Patrick.
That's Happy Gilmore in the batting cage, just standing on top of the plate, waiting to just get hit and get himself ready.
Okay, just so everyone is totally clear, I did not see any of these before the show, so this is happening to me.
No, don't disassociate yourself. Look, we equally collaborated on our show notes and our memes, and there's multiple people.
I knew you had memes planned. I did not physically see them.
I'm a meme machine these days.
You kind of are, Patrick. What is happening? This off season has turned you into a new person.
I'm a memeaholic. I am. Yeah, no, Diaz. Not a lot of people realize that if you get hit by a pitch and you lean into it, it's not necessarily a strike. It's where really the pitch is located. It's at the umpire's discretion. Incidentally, that happened to me once when I was an umpire. Suzie, the kid, got hit in the head with the ball, and I called him to come back to home plate because he leaned into it. Now, he did not get hit flush in the helmet. It was barely off the brim, but he leaned back because it was an off-speed pitch and then realized, oh, you know what? This is going to come in. I might be able to take a soft one. So he leaned forward ever so slightly. I was the only person in the ballpark that even saw that happen. I don't even know if the hitter realized he did it. And I made that call, and boy, did I get an earful. But the umpires, they redeemed themselves in this series, and we'll get to that. But 6-5, big victory here for the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber feeding the world with free tacos. He was not who I had to steal a base.
Yeah, he's a stocky boy. I was not expecting him to be stealing out there, but he made it happen. He got us those free tacos.
He did it. He got the job done. Team that wins game 1 in a 7-game series in the postseason typically wins about 67% of the time. Oddly enough, when game one was won by the road team, who then essentially have home field advantage at that point, only win 57% of the time, but still, that is more than not. You like that? Thoughts on Martin Maldonado? Did you hear about him using a illegal bat
You
or
know
an
what? Okay, so
legal bat? I'm not sure.
I saw this first on social media where everyone was talking about how he was using an illegal bat and like, it was mentioned like really nonchalantly in the broadcast. So I was like, why are we not mad about this? But then I learned that it was an illegal bat. So I mean, first of all, it was a gift from Albert Pujols, but he had been grandfathered into being allowed to use that bat. So technically Maldonado could not use that bat, but it's not a performance enhancing bat. It's just a high splintering risk. So I'm like, okay, we can all relax about that. But Philly was up in arms about it. My family group chat was like going nuts about it. And I was like, okay, we need to relax.
Yeah, I don't think there definitely isn't much of a performance other than it might be a little bit lighter. I think they can have maybe thinner handles, but like to your credit, it was more that it's for an injury risk, which in a weird way, okay, Pujols was grandfathered in. I still kind of have a problem with that because it wasn't a performance thing. It's a safety thing. Why is he or anyone else allowed to continue using that? That's a little bit strange. I would have thought, too bad, so sad. You're just gonna have to use a different type of wood. We're trying to protect some pitchers out here on the mound. I did think that was strange, and we almost saw an Aaron Nola get hit by a bat. He nearly got decapitated by one. That was a wild one. Yeah, that was strange to see.
Yeah.
But yep, did not use it in game two, and yet they ended up going on to win that game. We'll talk about that in a second. But of course, let's talk about the DNVR bar on the corner of Colfax, New York, where if there's not a Broncos, Nuggets, or Avs watch party, there's the Susie's Friday FAC, right? Friday After Work Club. Come hang out there. She might be buying shots. You never know. If Temple wins a big basketball game, she's buying shots. If the Phillies win a World Series game, okay, not too many more opportunities for that. She might buy shots. If you're wearing an Ezekiel Tovar black vest, she will buy you a drink. So again, there doesn't have to be Philly on the television. You still have ways to get your free drinks via Suzie and the DNVR bar. But you know what? If you go on an off hour and Susie's not there, that's okay because your membership now only 50 cents for your first month. It's going to get you 15% off your tab. Even if it's just drinks, that's fine. You get 15% off when you're a member. Oh, it is. And you get access to our members only Discord. So we're talking about all kinds of stuff, not even related to sports necessarily. So head on over to the dnvr.com. And if you want an annual membership, you do get a free shirt from dnvrlocker.com. DraftKings Sportsbook has got the NBA on. Look, we've got some good World Series bets too, not to mention, but basketball is back. So get in on the action. New customers, you can make a $5 NBA moneyline bet, and you're going to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. In addition to those usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100%. That means double the winnings. With DraftKings stepped up same game parlays, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a stepped up same game parlay today. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. And again, use promo code DNVR to make any $5 NBA moneyline bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Suzie, last week on the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast, I did say I thought the Astros would win in 5. That being said, my DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week, Phillies to win game 3. I think Noah Syndergaard might be a little bit suspect, but I like plus 115 for the Phillies to win on the money line, and just being back in Philadelphia is worth 2 runs right there.
You know what? It totally is. It totally is.
Yeah, that's my DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week.
I'm a
Phillies.
little I'm a little there's a little bit of beef now that you do not think the Phillies will make it all the way, but that's fine. I will move past it. We all have different opinions.
That's right. This is a pivotal game. Game 1 I thought was, 1 or 2, doesn't matter. They had to win one of those 2 in Houston. I thought 1 was the better one for them to attack and get that one, but this one I think could also be really, really pivotal for them. Ranger Suarez is going to go in game 4. We'll talk about that here in a second. But let's talk about game two. Game two was pretty much all about Framber Valdez. 6 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 3
Cooking.
walks, 9 strikeouts, and potentially something on his hand.
Yeah, a lot of weird activity with his hand. This was also a big topic in the family chat on social media. He was cooking though. He was cooking. He was dealing. But yeah, a lot of weird hand movements that looked a little suspect on TV.
Yeah, a lot of discussion about this fam chat here, Susie. How do people join and tap
How do people
into?
join in the Hunter Friesman family group chat?
Yes. Go ahead with your plug now. We'll get those out of the way early. How do
You
we?
have to like marry one of us. So
Okay. Are they,
it's very elite. It's very elite. No boyfriends, just husbands and the immediate family.
There's still a free agent out there, I hear, though. So there's a shot. There is
Yeah.
there is an open window to get in on these excellent family chats. But yeah, the stuff on the wrist was interesting. The wiping it off. Rob Thompson. I think he did a good job post game, basically saying like, we saw that he'd been doing that in the past, and that's just kind of a tick, if you will. And again, because both teams are essentially doing this in different forms, or may not be doing this. What are they doing? Who knows? It's all speculative. He did a good job in saying like, look, we're everyone's going to do what they got to do to have their best stuff, and so no reason to pick nits now exactly. And call somebody out and have to get their earlobes fingered and all that other jazz. So he does the responsible thing there. But it was very cool that his father was actually in attendance. I don't know if you know this. It was his first time seeing his son. Flew in from the Dominican Republic. His mom had come a couple times, but apparently he had this fear of flying and was finally there and he said, being in the ballpark and everyone's wearing his son's jersey. Like, what a moment.
That makes me so emotional. It makes me feel so bad that he's been afraid of flying this whole time, but like finally gets to see his son. And it's just, being at a ballpark is such a different experience than watching him on TV.
Yeah, this is where, somebody needs to fork over a check, let the John Madden bus drive down to the Dominican Republic, pick this guy up and drive all the way back, however long it ends up taking. Get him to America, even if he doesn't have to fly. You got to be creative sometimes.
Oh my God. Yeah, he should have taken a cruise ship.
That could work. Zach Wheeler was not cruising at all.
He was not. This was tough to watch. This was not the dependable Zach Wheeler that we are used to seeing from Philadelphia.
No, Wheeler wasn't dealing. 5 innings pitched, gave up 5 runs. Only 4 were earned. It is interesting that 3 of the 4 pitchers that started the games in games 1 and 2 gave up 5 runs. Wheeler, of course, only gave up 4 earned, but he did give up 5 while he was in the game. He walked 3, only struck out 3, and started the game off with 3 doubles, consecutive doubles. Altuve, Jeremy Pena, RBI. Yeah, Yordan Alvarez, RBI. First time for 3 consecutive extra base hits in the World Series, and only the 3rd time in postseason history ever. Very strange. To start a game off, too? Wow.
That was a rough way to start a game for sure. I could not believe just like pitch after pitch after pitch. It was pretty wild.
Yeah. That's Houston. And you go, damn, there's a reason they won 106 games and hadn't lost in the postseason up to that point. Mm-hmm. And you realize like, okay, you might not be able to stop them, but you need to contain them. And very much Wheeler had difficulty with that. Gives up 3 in the first, as we said, and Jose Altuve, he's heating up. 4 for 9 for his first 2 games. I still like Hoskins to hit more home runs than Altuve, though. That was one of the head-to-head bets that you could make for the World Series. Would you still take Hoskins over Altuve for more home runs?
Yes.
Of course.
Hoskins do.
That was a stupid question. Alex Bregman, 2-run home run. We'll check in on our home run derby teams. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be a 45-minute segment in and of itself.
No.
But a 2-run home run from him. Do you know why he homered? Susie, do you know the bottom line, the true reason of why he ended up hitting a home run there in that at bat?
Please tell me why.
His son, Knox Samuel Bregman, was handed to Kate Upton. Now, apparently, his son has been good luck I guess maybe throughout the postseason, maybe through the season. And Kate was like, "Hey, let me hold him, so Mama can kind of celebrate and do what she needs to do." And sure enough, in that at bat, he homered. So now every time Bregman's up, the baby goes over to Kate Upton to
That's
try to bring
amazing.
some good luck. There you go. It's if it was only that simple, right?
If it was only that simple. That's amazing. I
It's
like that a lot. I
it's cool.
would like to see more shots of Kate Upton on these broadcasts, but I have not seen her once. Have I just missed her?
I don't know if I have either. Yeah,
Yeah. I just want to see what she's wearing.
that's true. Yeah. Well, probably on IG, right? You might be able to get it.
Yep.
That's a little strange. That's a little strange. That's something to keep an eye out on. Maybe not in Philadelphia because you would have just thought game one. I mean, it's her husband, so yeah,
Yeah.
put her up on the screen. That makes a lot of sense. All right, it's time. Bringing it back. Pop Suzie. I gotta quiz you here. I gotta see what you can do on this. That you know nothing about this. Don't expect you to, but I just learned a really good article on the Athletic the
hmm
other day about Alex Bregman, big into horse racing. Like his grandfather came over, a Jewish immigrant from Russia, and got into horse racing. That moved the family to Albuquerque, New Mexico. His father is actually the head of the New Mexico Racing Commission. And this past year, Bregman Family Racing has started. I think that he has like 5 horses. And Suzie,
Wow.
it's your job to tell me which of these names of horses are owned by Alex Bregman. All right, number one, and most of these are actual horses. One I made up, but
Okay.
Syndergaard. Does Alex Bregman own a competitive horse named Syndergaard?
No, there's no way.
Correct.
Okay.
That was the name of a horse for about 7 years ago that ran in like Belmont and in New York. Obviously, Mets fans. All right, number two, Baby Got Backspin.
Oh, that's a good horse name for a baseball player. I'm gonna say yes.
You are correct. Yes, Alex
Ooh,
Bregman very much likes his launch angle and getting the backspin on that ball.
okay.
Very good. I think that horse won 2-year-old horse won a big race at Keeneland racetrack recently, and so that was kind of a big win for the family team. All right, Brooks Robinson,
No,
also a third baseman, also played in the World Series. You're gonna go no?
I'm gonna say no, that's not Alex Bregman's horse.
You are correct. There was a
Oh, my
horse. That
instincts.
was a horse. That was a horse. And again, a lot of similarities there with the third base in orange in the
hmm
World Series, but no. Okay, number 4, Golden Sombrero.
That sounds like a good name for an Alex Bregman horse.
You would be correct. And last
You
but
know
not
that you
least,
know that like my family, I come from a horse family too, but not a racing family.
oh, okay. See, I got into the racetracks there. I went to the Breeders' Cup many years ago. I was into it very hard. No horse racing here. Greyhounds. I think there's greyhound tracks in Colorado. Not terribly popular because I couldn't even name where one of them are located. But last one, let's see if you full sweep here, 100%. This might bode well for the Phillies tonight. Last but not least, buzzing about. Could this be some kind of hint about certain objects on their body, letting them know what pitches are coming? I don't know. Buzzing about Suzie. Is this a Bregman family racing horse? Yay or nay?
I hope it's not, so I'm gonna say nay.
She sweeps. You swept it. Nay, very appropriate. You got it. You got all 5. Very good.
Wow.
Yes.
Yo, I
Buzzing
know my
about.
stuff. Yeah, my sister had a horse growing up.
Very nice. Well,
She was
can we
very
get a name?
competitive.
Name
What?
drop? Can we
Um,
name drop?
his name was Rolex, but his name
Okay.
used to be something else. Like he was a little on the older side, but I think
Barry.
he was a retired racehorse.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, so like when you're a racehorse, you have like a wrestler name, and then when you retire, you just get a regular kind of fun name.
You just get whatever the teenage girl who buys you wants to name you.
Because getting a horse as a gift is not enough. We also have to name the horse Rolex.
Yeah.
There's the next gift I want.
Listen,
Very
she's just
clearly.
manifesting the lifestyle she wants to have, and I
I
respect
like it.
it.
I like it. Pat Hoberg. Pat Hoberg. Perfect game. Yes, he's an umpire. He's not a player. That's why
Mm-hmm.
maybe you might not care too much, but I think a lot of baseball people care.
This
Every
was
pitch,
interesting. Yeah.
he got every pitch right. 129 out of 129. Now you're going, there's a lot more than that that's thrown in a game. Yes, there were 261 pitches thrown. Swinging strikes, you don't need to do anything for that. Balls that are put into play, you don't need to do anything for that. And then foul balls, 51 of those. So that leaves 129 pitches where everyone's looking at the umpire saying, hey, is that a ball or strike? He nailed it. I think it was the first time since, umpire pitch tracking this had ever gone down. He nailed it. That is amazing. And in a big spot like this, wow,
Listen,
legend.
we are always so quick. I feel like everyone is so quick to, be so loud when an umpire like really beeps it. But we need to really celebrate when a guy gets it so right. That's absolutely incredible.
Is there Pat Hoberg merch out there? Probably not. I'd be down. I rock him to show him a little bit of respect. That's pretty amazing.
I would probably be more apt to buy Pat Hoberg merch if the Phillies won that game.
Okay.
So, maybe he'll do it again.
He'll be in the field. We know he'll be in the field there. So he might be the guy that, gestures for a fair ball on a big home run or a
If
big,
he's that
double.
good, he really should be behind home plate all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think, and that's certainly a conversation to maybe have in the off season. This idea of like, well, how can we, without the technology isn't there yet for balls and strikes, and hey, just have the same guy behind home plate, and then just replace his knees every 6 months. Whatever it is. Like, you go, oh, in theory, oh, that's a brilliant idea. The Pat Hoberg machine behind home plate. And then he's RoboCop from below the waist because that's going to take a toll on you.
You know what that is? You've brought up a great point. I was not really thinking about his knees. So my apologies to Pat Hoberg and the Hoberg family for suggesting such an outlandish thing.
Well, look, what comes first? The knee technology or the ball strike technology from baseball? So whatever comes first, that could be the way that we end up going. So if you know any kneeologists out there, I think that's what that's called. What would a knee doctor be called?
I think it's an orthopedic doctor because that's a doctor of the bones.
I think it might actually be ears, knees, and throats, something like that. I'm not sure, but what I am sure about is the place that you get your tickets, the place where Suzie might be getting tickets for Game 4 and Game 5 is Game Time Tickets. Make sure you hit the link in our description to save. It helps us out in a major way. You can save up to 60% when you wait closer to first pitch. That might be the way to go with these World Series games because you see what the prices are. They're really good on Game Time, much better than some other sites. But bottom line, those ticket scalpers, if you will, they're like, I got to get something here. I'm not getting anything on the foot traffic. So on the app, I'm going to keep bringing that price down as it gets closer and closer, and their window of opportunity is over. You can save up to 60%. It's legit. I've done it before. You can sit behind home plate in the outfield. Standing room only gets you in for the World Series. If we're talking football, 50-yard line, basketball, courtside, whatever it is, even concerts, it's the Game Time app. It's the best seats to all your favorite events. 15 million people have downloaded, and they know Game Time tickets. Hit the link in our description so you can save. They also know that the best beef, the best Wagyu beef, the best blue-collar American Wagyu is at Hassel Cattle Company. Go to HassleCattleCompany.com. Get 20% off with code DNVR20. It's versatile, full of flavor. They got different cuts to fit your budget or recipes. I actually had a little steak on Saturday night for the first time in a while. I have to say, it was cooked perfectly. It also helps. It was just a great cut of American Wagyu. It's top shelf, but it's also affordable. And Hassel Cattle Company Wagyu beef can be shipped anywhere in just days. Head over to HassleCattleCompany.com, HASSELL CattleCompany.com. Secure that bag of beef with code DNVR20 so you can save 20% off.
Sounds good.
Very
Love that.
good.
Love that for you that you had such a nice steak dinner.
It did. Had a little shrimp with it on the side. It was good. A little surf and a little turf. Both simultaneous.
Ooh, surfed and turfed.
I turfed.
What a time to be Patrick Lyons.
It is, man. It looked so good on the plate. I don't know. Did it look as good as some of these guys? Because we got some World Series outfits. to look at. The first one I know you're going to give a 10 out of 10. I don't know the Suzie scale if you go out of 5, if you got a 10, if you're doing stars. But Bryce Harper showing up for game 1 of the World Series. I've got a problem with this, and we'll talk about it later. But the number 20 throwback, Michael Jack Schmidt.
Yes.
He nailed it. He nailed it.
He nailed it. Listen, Michael Jack Schmidt is my dude, but Bryce Harper has been my dude the past couple of years, or especially, this season. So I love this. Love the throwback. And the powder blue Phillies jerseys are my favorite jerseys of all time. Like right up there with the Rockies black vests. I love that look so much. So I love that he was honoring it.
Will you buy people a drink at the DNVR bar if they have a Phillies powder blue Ezekiel Tovar jersey?
Yes, because that's such a stupid thing to order.
Actually, I'm going to, you know what? I'll say this. I will buy you a meal at the DNVR bar if you do that. I'll take that one off your plate. I'll put it on mine because that's more than a drink.
I'm spending a lot of money at the DNVR bar of late on other people.
Yeah, so I'll take this one. If you get the Ezekiel Tovar powder blue Phillies jersey, I'll buy you a meal. That's not even just a drink. All right, but the problem that I have with the Bryce Harper, if we can pop that back up again, I don't know if you noticed this. He had wired headphones. What? He had wires on his headphones.
That's your issue? Is that his headphones have wires?
Yeah, it's not 2016. What the hell? Come on.
You know what? I'm not mad. Maybe he didn't charge his AirPods. Maybe he doesn't. We don't even know if he likes AirPods. Because, I know this happens to me all the time, but they fall out of my ears all the time. So then it's like, oh, I got to go searching for it. Maybe he just doesn't want any problems today. He wants his headphones to stay put. I have no issues. We should not be headphone shaming, Patrick.
Dude, no Beats by Bryce? Come on. Like, not even that? No. I do have a problem. I shouldn't talk because this time last year I was still tethered with a wire. Only recently got the upgrade there. Life changer.
I'm looking at your headset right now too. You got wires.
Well, I'm not in game 1 in the World Series. This is different. There's no Bluetooth technology to be a really good podcaster here. So little bit different scenario. But I'll give him a pass, especially since he's on my home run derby team. I'll check in on that here in about 2 minutes. Alex Bregman. How do you like the Alex Bregman outfit here? Showing up to game 1, repping the old Albuquerque Dukes.
I do love that. I love that so much. I think this is Bregman's biggest win of the series for sure.
Okay. Yeah, this is also a home run. Yeah. No, I like that. And then this final one was a little puzzling. Christian Vasquez. He almost looks like he got a bootleg Yankees t-shirt uniform from Spirit Halloween. I'm not sure.
I don't know what this is supposed to be.
What's going on?
But for me, it ain't it.
No, this is why you got to be over on the DNVR Sports channel on YouTube so you can see this outfit. It's almost, again, it's like if you wore the baseball cap of the team that you work for. Like, that doesn't necessarily look right. He's like, hey, look, I'm a baseball player. Check out my pinstripe t-shirt walking into game 1.
Honestly, it's like serving a lot of ref for me right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
it's
definitely
giving me like Foot Locker employee vibes.
That's what I'm thinking. Did Foot Locker rebrand? And why is Christian Vasquez the spokesperson for that? I'm not sure. Home run derby domination. Let's check the scores. You got Schwarber, Hoskins, Jeremy Pena, Chas McCormick, Alec Boehm.
Thank you.
0 homers.
Yeah, they're not doing anything for me right now.
A lot of doubles.
The series is still young.
It's true. A lot of doubles. So you are not throwing in the hat at all.
No.
Because I got a homer from Bregman, Real Muto, 2 from Tucker. I've got all of the home runs in the World Series so far. 4-0. Are you?
You did a good job drafting, Patrick. You did a good job drafting. And congratulations, but it's not over yet. So we got to keep that in mind.
Okay. All right. I thought you're gonna wave the white flag, but all right. Very true to Philly, right?
Listen,
don't give up.
They're not called the Fightins for nothing.
How crazy would it be? Here you go. We'll have to clip this out. I'm up 4-0 on you right now. What if someone like Yordan Alvarez hits a homer early on and I'm up 5-0 on you, and then my guys go quiet and you come back and win? That would be friggin'
How
other level, right?
appropriate would that be? That would be perfect.
I like a good story. Look, even if I'm on the losing end, a good story is a good story. It's the game within the game. That's why you got to keep watching.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do it for the plot. Do it for the
do it for
plot.
the plot. Halloween in baseball. Today is Halloween. I
Mhm.
wanted to look at a couple costumes that were going around. This one I've seen a couple years ago. A dad dressed up as Tom Hanks from League of Their Own with his little daughters there. Very
This is
cute,
so cute.
beyond cute. I think that's probably a real beer, but nevertheless, very cute outfit for that trio of little girls. Someone dressed up as the Petco Park foul pole. Suzie, how do we like this one?
Oh, that's actually really funny. This
That's
is
very
this
good.
is very good.
With the
This is
Jack in the
very
Box
niche
head.
humor right there.
That's my favorite of this season for sure. This guy was a 2-for-1. He's dressed up as Waldo, but in actuality, what his what the comment on him dressing up as Waldo is he's dressed up as the Mets offense in the postseason. Oof,
Oh,
not good.
wow.
Yep.
This is a very good
Where are they?
last minute costume that you didn't have to put a lot of work into.
Very
Like,
good.
"Oh, what are you? You're barely dressed up. Are you even here? Where are you?" I'm
Very good. I like that. And a shout out to our guy over in PHNX Diamondbacks, Derek Montilla. Very fitting. Baseball adjacent. He's dressed up as a pinata. He's walking around with a bat and his daughter. And he said, "She really wants to take a swing at me," is the caption. So
That's a
love a
really funny
pinata.
costume. That
That's
is
good.
really good.
That is
I kind of thought about wearing a costume tonight. Because I have a Rockford Peach costume, and I was like, oh, I could wear it with the Phillies hat, but it's gonna be cold and rainy, and also like the skirt on it is really short, so I don't know if I actually want to wear it to a Philly sports arena where people are going to be drinking a lot. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that mess in my life.
you could go like black sweatpants underneath and then like, I don't know. It'll be floating. Or yeah, I guess that might not work. You got to dress for comfort.
I
You know what I
got,
mean?
you know what, exactly, and it's supposed to be rainy tonight too. It's supposed to be rainy and cold, so that's why I'm wearing a turtleneck. Um,
Layers. Get those
yeah. So
layers going.
what?
Get those layers. You got to get some
Gotta
layers
get
going.
those layers. Gotta get those layers. So yeah, exactly. Dressing for comfort and function, not for style.
Function, not fashion. That's it.
Function, not fashion. That's the saying.
That's the saying. And the saying is, hey, we're going back to Philly because game 3 is where it's at. You're going to be there. Lance McCullers Jr. against Noah Syndergaard, aka the bullpen. Is it going to be more of a bullpen game? How many innings do you think we're gonna get out of Noah Syndergaard? I think 3 would be decent. 4 would be awesome. 5 would almost be like next level for him.
Yeah. I mean, we really need to get 3 to 4 at least innings out of him. Otherwise, it's going to be way too stressful in the bullpen, and we still have 2 more after this in Philly. So we really need to see several innings from Syndergaard for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What you're going to see, it's going to make everybody nice and warm and fuzzy for the first World Series game in Philadelphia since 2009 is the first pitch by what I'm calling the ring bearers. They're not just the guys throwing out the first pitch. They're the ring bearers. I don't know if you saw this just yet, but of course, Michael Jack Schmidt will be there, who, Hall of Famer, also won the 1980 World Series.
My dude, my former neighbor.
There you go. Hall of Fame goalie Bernie Parent also won the Stanley Cup in 74 and 75. Hall of Famer Julius Erving won the NBA championship with the 76ers in 1983. And more recently, Brandon Graham of the current 7-0 Philadelphia Eagles, winner of Super Bowl 52 in 2018. A fearsome foursome of legends and championship winners in Philadelphia. That's pretty great.
That's going to be awesome. I love when Philly athletes, especially successful Philly athletes, come together for something like this. The sports fandom in Philly, we all know, is just unreal. But it's so nice to see these guys come together. I can't wait. I will be in my seat at 7:30 Eastern time, ready for all of this, ready to watch it. That's what the official, schedule of the day says from the Phillies. It says, be in your seats by 7:30. for all of the magic that's going to happen on the field.
It's going to be great. Do we see
Mhm.
I don't think Sylvester Stallone has ever come out to a Phillies event, has he?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of, but
Oh,
he's always there in spirit in the form of that Rocky statue outside of the art museum.
It's true. Yeah. Well, he's got a new show coming out called Tulsa King, all about some mob guy going to Tulsa. So it sounds mildly interesting to me. So hey, maybe they could be saving him for Game 4, Game 5. There's a chance. There's a chance because he's got this project coming out on Paramount Plus or whatever next month.
Hmm.
You could see Sylvester Stallone. That would be pretty cool.
Amazing. Okay, I kind of hope that works out. We still, last time I checked, we don't know who's singing the national anthem yet. Have you seen it? I haven't seen it.
I have not. No. I can try looking it up.
I looked it up. I looked it up earlier, and there was no news. I'm like, oof, TBA. I mean, it could be Taylor Swift.
Ooh, maybe.
She sang the national anthem in Game 3 of the 2008 World Series, and the Phillies won that game.
I like it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll look that up while you give me the breakdown. Like, what is either a typical pregame like for you when you're going out for a big game? Because look, every pregame isn't like, well, I got to do this, I got to do that. It's a long game.
Oh, we've got Yahir in here disguised as Ali Monroy.
Real quick, so it's Madison Watkins who's singing the national anthem.
Yep.
Who is that?
Well, she has appeared on the Grammys, American Idol, and has opened for numerous globally renowned artists, including Elle King, Gwen Stefani, and Jason Derulo. Her hit song Someday went viral across social media and has nearly surpassed 3 million streams on Spotify. Off the top of my head, that's what I know about her.
Oh, okay.
I pulled that up as well.
Me and Patrick are reading the exact same article, by the way.
I think so, yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, here. Thank you for your service. Okay, so, I mean, I've never been to a World Series game, so this is like totally new territory for me. And I'm bringing my dad. My dad has also never been to a World Series game. So we are actually, right after this podcast is wrapped up, we're probably going to start heading down to the park, and we only live like 15 minutes away, so we're gonna like really make a day of it. But there's supposed to be a lot of festivities outside of the park. There's gonna be a whole block party outside of Citizens Bank Park with apparently like balloon animals. There's gonna be a Ferris wheel. It's gonna be kind of nuts. So I'm excited to see that.
There's a bungee jump.
What?
Yeah, I'm looking at another press release.
Oh, you're looking at the same thing. Okay, yeah. So
bungee jump.
There's going to be a bungee jump kind of thing. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is. I probably won't do it, but
I feel like I don't want to like spoil any of the stuff that's going on. But not that it's, look, all the stuff that you don't want spoiled is going to happen inside the stadium. But still, at this block party, the Budweiser Clydesdales are going to be there. If you're into horse stuff.
You mean we're a horse family? You know that.
This is true. There you go.
You know this already.
That's right.
Just pound Yingling all day. Yes, I will be having a Yingling. Also, Aramark released some new foods just for the World Series at Citizens Bank Park. One of the new items that I can't wait to try, because it's also very close to the section where I'm sitting, pumpkin pie cannolis.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. That. So those are in section 137. 139. My seats are in section 137. I got good seats, y'all. I'm gonna have so much fun.
That's good. Yeah, and I'm sure you'll be posting plenty of the tastings, nachos. Now, I mean, I don't have any pressure on you. I don't know if you've thought about this, but as part of Nacho Scout and as a big nacho person, this is your first opportunity. Or have you ever had nachos at a World Series? I mean, no, right? This would be your first.
No, I've never been to a World Series game ever. No. So I will be eating my first World Series nachos.
I don't want you to have any regrets. So we got to like think of these things now. Like, what do you have to do?
You know what my favorite food at Citizens Bank Park is? I'm not even sure if they have it this season anymore. I'll have to look. There's a really good vegan cheesesteak. It's very convincing.
Interesting. Just tofu, I'm guessing, right? Is the replacement?
No, I think it's probably something like Impossible Meat or Beyond Meat. I think it's something like that.
Oh man, I've not tried any of those Beyond products, but boy, oh boy, I can't wait to find out what's really in it in 15 years and how it's killing us.
Yeah, I
Allegedly.
can't wait to die from whatever is in it. But it's not something I eat every day. It's something I eat every
True.
once in a while.
No. True. Yeah, I'm not above trying some of those products, but does make you wonder just a little bit. Jackfruit. Who's eating jackfruit? Ethan.
Oh,
has got,
jackfruit is good.
interesting
It's a
suggestions.
good substitution for like pulled pork or pulled chicken. Like it goes well with like a tangy kind of barbecue sauce because the jackfruit's kind of a little tangy. Yeah, that's not a bad substitution. That's not what's in it, but it's a good substitution for other things.
Susie, if the Phillies win in 5, so they win Game 3 tonight, they win Ranger Suarez his game in Game 4. Austin
Mhm.
Nola will be back for Game 5. Will you be on the Bull at Xfinity Live following that World Series championship for the Philadelphia Phillies? Will you be on the Bull?
If I have the opportunity, absolutely. I might try to ride the bull before they clinch a World Series win. Like if they just win a game while I'm here and the bull is available, I will try it.
There
But I
you
will
go.
tell him Kyle Schwarber rules only. You have to keep it at 5 miles an hour. I'm very delicate. I'm very fragile.
You gotta see if you can actually see the control board for the Bull and see if someone was clever enough to have listed Schwarber setting. Like that's just how like no, let's keep it safe. There's somebody very important up on the Bull. Let's not hurt them. Let's see if there's a Schwarber setting. And then fittingly, if it then the label on all the way cranked up to high would probably say Astros fans, New York Giants fans, Boston Celtics fan. It would be too long probably, so maybe you don't put anything at all. But Schwarber setting is the new way of saying, hey, take it easy. Let's have fun, but let's take it easy as well.
Well said, Patrick. Well said.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted. Listen, if I end up on the bull, you'll see it on social media first. So keep an eye out.
That's it.
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that. You take it easy tonight too.
I
You got to
won't.
make sure. I'm sure we'll have plenty over at DNVR_Rockies. You won't have plenty at Patrick D Lyons on Twitter from me about the World Series. Actually, a little bit about the World Series, but nothing with really cool pictures, as you might see over here on my partner's Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms.
This has been very momentous, but you know what they say about momentum?
What do they say?
It's only as good as your next show. So we'll talk to you tomorrow at 11 a.m. and hear about Susie's adventures in Game 3.